I met this older lady yesterday while I was doing some college work in a cafe. I'd noticed she was upset, crying quietly on her own close to where I was sitting. There wasn't anyone else sitting near us, so I leaned over and I asked if she was okay. We got talking and she told me about how her husband had just passed and she was lonely. The meeting ended with her asking if I would mind walking her home, and I agreed to. She continued to cry quietly but was able enough to hold a conversation with me as we reached her house some 15 minutes later. It looked really run down and almost abandoned, but I kept those thoughts to myself. When she opened the door without using a key, I thought it was odd that she didn't even lock it before she left, but still I said nothing as she smiled at me and held the door so I could enter. We walked into the hallway and I jumped with shock when the front door slammed aggressively behind me. There was a man there, younger than the lady but older than me. He looked angry, and when I turned back to the lady, her grief-stricken persona was no more. She was cold, emotionless, and staring at me with a bizarre look in her eyes. She told me to go down to the basement without making a sound. My heart was pounding, and my hands were sweaty. I didn't know what was going on, and I was utterly terrified.